In the profound stillness that envelops the world between 3 and 5 in the morning, a unique temporal canvas unfurls. This pre-dawn interval, often perceived as an unwelcome disruption to slumber, is in truth an extraordinary window of opportunity. It is a period of unparalleled quietude, where the clamor of the external world recedes, offering a pristine environment for profound introspection and self-communion. This liminal phase, largely untouched by the frenetic pace of daily existence, presents itself not as an arbitrary awakening, but as a deliberate summons. It beckons the discerning individual to harness its inherent tranquility for purposes far loftier than mere restless turning. Within this serene void, the conditions are optimal for cultivating a heightened state of awareness, paving the way for insights that elude the more tumultuous hours. Embrace this nocturnal interlude as a sacred trust, a privileged moment when the veils of distraction are thinnest. It is a potent crucible for inner work, allowing for an undisturbed exploration of one's deepest self. The profound silence of this hour is not emptiness, but a resonant space awaiting the cultivation of intention and the blossoming of mindful presence. The immediate inclination upon an unbidden awakening in these early hours is often one of vexation and a futile struggle to reclaim lost sleep. This common human response, characterized by frustration and a sense of disruption, overlooks the latent potential impeded within such moments. It stems from a preconditioned perception of sleep as an unbroken continuum, rather than a dynamic process with varied states. However, a transformative shift in perspective can convert this perceived inconvenience into a formidable advantage. Instead of succumbing to the inertia of irritation, one can reframe this nascent wakefulness as a rare invitation, an unexpected grant of time. This reframing empowers the individual to transcend mere physical discomfort and engage with the present moment on a more profound, deliberate plane. By consciously choosing to perceive this early stir as an opportunity rather than an impediment, the narrative of the morning is irrevocably altered. It transitions from a struggle against an unwanted state to a purposeful engagement with a unique temporal gift. This conscious recalibration of outlook is the foundational step towards harnessing the true power of the pre-dawn hours. Conceive of your personal space, particularly your sleeping quarters, during these hushed hours, not merely as a domicile but as a dedicated sanctuary, an inner monastery. This reconceptualization transforms the mundane into the sacred, imbuing your immediate environment with purpose and profound significance. It becomes a disciplined training ground for the mind and spirit, insulated from the prevailing external world. Within the confines of this self-imposed monastic setting, the objective is not to retreat from life, but to prepare for it with heightened clarity and resolve. It is here that the foundations of internal discipline are meticulously laid, brick by mindful brick. This disciplined engagement cultivates an acute awareness, honing the faculty of observation both internally and externally, without the usual sensory overload. The deliberate creation of this mental and physical sanctuary fosters an environment conducive to deep work, not merely intellectual, but spiritual and emotional. It underscores the profound truth that true strength and wisdom are often forged in solitude and stillness. This inner monastery serves as a crucible, where the raw material of self is refined into an instrument of conscious intention. The first and most profound practice to embrace in these nascent hours is the conscious regulation of breath, the stillness breath. This involves engaging in simple yet potent breathing exercises, such as the rhythmic cadence of the 4-7-8 technique or the stabilizing symmetry of box breathing. The deliberate extension and retraction of the breath serves as an immediate anchor, drawing the wandering mind into the immediacy of the present. The benefits derived from this intentional breathwork are manifold and deeply impactful. It orchestrates a gentle recalibration of the nervous system, transitioning it from any latent state of arousal to one of profound tranquility. Furthermore, it acts as a mental clarifier, sweeping away the cognitive detritus that often accumulates, thereby fostering a pristine mental landscape conducive to focused attention and heightened perception. This practice is not merely a physiological exercise, it is a profound act of self-mastery. By consciously directing the breath, one asserts sovereignty over the internal landscape, establishing a foundational state of calm from which all subsequent actions can emanate. The stillness breath is the initial key to unlocking the inherent power of the pre-dawn silence. To facilitate the integration of this crucial first practice, consider incorporating a brief, gentle segment of guided auditory instruction. This vocal guidance, whether internal or from a discrete audio source, can subtly direct the nascent practitioner through the fundamental rhythms of the stillness breath. Such a segment offers gentle cues for inhalation, retention and exhalation, ensuring the technique is approached with precision and ease. The emphasis during this guided segment must invariably be on gentleness and a complete absence of judgment. The objective is not to achieve an instantaneous state of perfection, but to foster an environment of acceptance and observation. Each breath, regardless of its perceived quality, serves as a valuable data point, a unique opportunity for non-judgmental presence. This deliberate and patient approach to guided breathing cultivates a profound sense of self-compassion, transforming a potentially daunting exercise into an inviting exploration. It reinforces the understanding that the journey of inner peace is incremental, built upon consistent, gentle engagement rather than forceful imposition. The auditory guidance acts as a steady hand, leading one deeper into the quietude. The profound efficacy of regulated breathing on one's internal state is underscored by compelling neuroscientific principles. Deliberate respiratory practices significantly influence the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive control center, enhancing cognitive function and decision-making capability. Simultaneously, they temper the activity of the amygdala, the brain's primary fear and emotional processing center, thereby fostering a state of emotional equanimity. This intricate physiological interplay illuminates the profound connection between breath and thought. The very rhythm and depth of one's respiration directly modulate neural pathways, influencing both one's psychological disposition and cognitive clarity. It is a fundamental truth that the mind's trajectory is inextricably linked to the precise cadence of the breath, serving as its subtle yet potent guide. Thus, understanding this scientific underpinning elevates the practice from mere exercise to an informed act of self-regulation. It is not merely a belief, but a demonstrable reality that conscious breathing can reshape one's internal environment, providing a tangible pathway to mental serenity and cognitive precision. This profound connection is a cornerstone of inner mastery. The second indispensable practice for these solitary hours involves the deliberate act of recording one's nascent thoughts and reflections in an insight journal. A small, unassuming notebook and a pen, strategically placed within easy reach, become essential tools for capturing the raw, unfiltered essence of the waking mind. Crucially, the use of electronic devices is assiduously avoided, preserving the sanctity of this analog process. The prompts for this reflective exercise are expansive yet singularly focused on internal discovery. One might begin by articulating profound gratitude, enumerating the blessings that resonate deep. Alternatively, the journal can serve as a crucible for confronting extant challenges, allowing for the exploration of novel perspectives and alternative approaches. Articulating the day's core intention also serves to imbue the nascent hours with purpose. This act of mindful reflection, committed to paper, creates an invaluable externalization of internal landscapes. It provides an unfiltered conduit for the subconscious, allowing nascent ideas and unarticulated feelings to surface with unparalleled clarity. The very act of writing becomes a powerful meditative discipline, solidifying insights that might otherwise dissipate. One of the most salient advantages of engaging in mindful reflection during these pre-dawn hours is the unparalleled clarity of the unfiltered mind. Liberated from the accumulation of daily responsibilities and the sensory overload of waking life, thoughts emerge with a pristine, unadulterated quality. The cognitive noise that typically obscures deeper truths is significantly diminished, allowing for unencumbered self-examination. In this serene mental expanse, the discovery of profound insights is a frequent and remarkable occurrence. The subconscious, less constrained by the conscious mind's analytical filters, often presents solutions, perspectives and revelations that remain elusive amidst the day's distraction. It is in this fertile ground of quietude that genuine understanding often takes root and blossoms. This period of mental quietude acts as a powerful amplifier for intuition and discernment. Without the insistent demands of external stimuli, the subtle promptings of one's inner wisdom become distinctly audible. The unfiltered mind of the early morning is a rare gift, offering a direct conduit to self-knowledge and an illuminated pathway for personal growth. The practice of journaling in these silent hours can be likened to a warrior's meticulous self-assessment, a rigorous internal audit of one's present state. Just as a martial artist scrutinizes their balance, posture, and readiness, the journal becomes a mirror reflecting the equilibrium of the inner self. It is a moment to dispassionately check in with emotional currents, mental clarity, and spiritual alignment. This disciplined internal check-in serves a dual purpose. It not only illuminates existing imbalances, but also cultivates a profound capacity for self-awareness. By systematically documenting one's thoughts and feelings, patterns emerge revealing underlying anxieties, aspirations, or unresolved issues. This conscious identification is the first step towards effective resolution and strategic planning. Ultimately, this act of self-assessment is a fundamental exercise in proactive problem-solving. By identifying the nascent seeds of challenge in the quiet of the morning, one gains the strategic advantage to address them before they escalate. It is the practice of a wise individual, preparing for the day's engagements by first mastering the terrain of their inner world. The third vital practice for those awakened between 3 and 5 a.m. involves the gentle intentional re-engagement of the physical form. This is not about rigorous exertion, but rather a deliberate flowing activation of the body's innate energy. Consider incorporating simple, unhurried movements, such as the ancient dance of gentle qigong forms, the elongating grace of foundational stretches, or a modified, quiet sequence of sun salutation. The purpose of these subtle physical engagements is to gently rouse the latent energy, the vital essence within the bodily vessel. Unlike an abrupt awakening, which can jolt the system, these deliberate movements initiate a harmonious reconnection between mind and body, preparing them synergistically for the day ahead. The objective is to coax the internal currents into a state of fluid readiness. Crucially, the inherent wisdom in this practice lies in the avoidance of any sudden, jarring motions. The early morning is a delicate crucible. Aggressive movements can disrupt the nascent tranquility cultivated through the preceding practices. Instead, the focus remains on fluidity, grace, and an intrinsic awareness of each unfolding posture, fostering a harmonious transition from rest to gentle activity. The deliberate choice to engage in gentle physical movement during these pre-dawn hours is an act of profound self-respect, aiming to awaken the physical form with discerning wisdom. The objective is to gently coax the body's internal energy, often referred to as vital force, from its dormant state into a harmonious flowing current. This measured approach ensures a seamless transition from repose to readiness. This practice consciously eschews any forceful or abrupt methodologies, recognizing that the early morning body is particularly receptive to gentle persuasion. The aim is not to shock the system into alertness, but rather to softly encourage its intrinsic rhythm to re-establish itself. It is a mindful process of reanimation, honoring the body's innate need for gradual engagement. By awakening the body in such a deliberate and sensitive manner, one avoids the common pitfall of morning lethargy and stiffness. Instead, the physical form is infused with a nascent vitality, preparing it not just for movement, but for a day characterized by greater physical ease and energetic flow. This wise awakening sets a powerful precedent for mindful living. The elegant synchronization of gentle movement with breath and intention during these quiet hours often culminates in the attainment of a profound flow state. This is a condition of complete absorption, where one's awareness of self and time dissipates, replaced by an effortless, seamless engagement with the present moment. Each stretch, each subtle shift, becomes a meditation in motion, fostering a deep sense of internal coherence. This integration of physical fluidity with mental focus underscores a fundamental truth. The body and mind are not disparate entities, but an indivisible continuum. When one moves with intentionality and awareness, the mental landscape reflects this harmony, becoming clearer and more attuned. The physical discipline becomes a conduit for mental clarity and emotional equilibrium. Thus, these gentle movements are not merely about stretching muscles, they are about stretching the boundaries of consciousness. They are a powerful means of cultivating a meditative awareness that transcends the purely physical, allowing for a deep connection with one's inner being. The flow state achieved here resonates throughout the ensuing day, imbuing activities with a sense of effortless grace. It is imperative to disabuse oneself of the notion that these pre-dawn practices are solely a means to enhance conventional productivity in a frenetic, task-oriented sense. While increased clarity and focus may be welcome byproducts, the core objective transcends mere output. This is not about gaining a competitive edge in the rat race, but rather about cultivating a profound internal resource. The true aim of engaging with these quiet hours is nothing less than the deep cultivation of inner being. It is about fostering mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a profound sense of purpose that originates from within. The focus shifts from external achievement to internal refinement, from doing more to being more. This distinction is crucial for maintaining the sanctity and efficacy of these practices. When approached with the sole intention of external gain, their transformative power is diminished. Instead, by embracing them as a path to inner quietude and self-mastery, one unlocks a wellspring of profound sustainable well-being that permeates every facet of existence. The deliberate choice to engage with the early hours, rather than succumbing to the inertia of continued sleep, constitutes a profound act of self-mastery. It is a tangible demonstration of one's capacity to transcend immediate gratification in favor of long-term cultivation. This conscious assertion of will over comfort is the bedrock upon which genuine personal discipline is forged. This seemingly small victory of rising with intent sets a formidable precedent for the entirety of the day. It is an initial triumph over the forces of inertia, imbuing the individual with a nascent sense of accomplishment and control. This initial surge of self-directed energy subtly influences subsequent choices, fostering a cascade of disciplined actions throughout the waking hours. The consistent practice of early intentional rising is a powerful builder of resilience. Each morning it reinforces the internal narrative that one possesses the capacity to direct their own life, to make conscious choices that align with higher purposes. This discipline is not punitive, but empowering, a daily testament to one's commitment to self-evolution. The profound stillness and intentionality cultivated during these pre-dawn practices invariably exert a far-reaching ripple effect, positively influencing the entire trajectory of the ensuing day. The serene mental state achieved through breathwork, the clarity gained from mindful reflection, and the gentle vitality infused by intentional movement collectively create a robust internal foundation. This carefully cultivated inner equilibrium acts as a resilient buffer against the inevitable stresses and demands of daily life. Rather than reacting impulsively to external pressures, one approaches challenges with a calm, centered result. The energy emanating from these early hours is not frantic or reactive, but a sustained, composed presence that permeates every interaction and task. Consequently, the individual moves through their day with a discernible aura of calm and focused concentration. Decisions are rendered with greater clarity, interactions are more harmonious, and tasks are executed with a heightened sense of purpose and efficacy. The early morning's investment in self becomes a pervasive force for good, shaping the quality of every waking moment. It is essential to approach these transformative practices with a foundational understanding that the pursuit of consistency far outweighs the elusive quest for perfection. The journey of self-mastery is not characterized by flawless execution every single day, but by the unwavering commitment to return to the practice, even in the face of minor lapses or perceived imperfection. The true strength inherent in these disciplines is not derived from an unblemished record, but from the cumulative effect of sustained, albeit imperfect effort. Each gentle return to the breath, each moment of reflective journaling, each deliberate stretch, even when brief or less than ideal, contributes incrementally to the building of an unbreakable internal fortitude. Therefore, the emphasis should always be on the diligent cultivation of the habit, embracing the occasional deviation as merely a temporary detour on a longer, more significant path. It is the consistent, compassionate engagement with oneself, rather than the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal, that ultimately leads to profound and lasting transformation. Beyond the specific practices, the profound silence that characterizes the hours between 3 and 5 in the morning holds an inherent pedagogical power. This deep quietude is not merely an absence of noise, but a fertile ground for profound revelation. It acts as an unbiased mirror, reflecting truths that are often obscured by the cacophony of waking life. This natural teacher, unburdened by didactic pronouncements, invites a deep listening, an inward attunement to the subtle promptings of intuition and wisdom. What the silence reveals about one's deepest aspirations, unacknowledged fears, or the most authentic path forward, is often surprising in its clarity and directness. It is in this void that genuine self-understanding flourishes. To engage with this silence is to engage with a profound aspect of existence, allowing its stillness to permeate one's being and impart its timeless lesson. It underscores the truth that some of the most profound wisdom is not found in external teachings, but discovered in the quiet recesses of one's being, patiently awaiting discovery. View these unexpected awakenings not as an imposition, but as a unique and profound invitation, an exclusive summons to a deeper level of self-mastery. This hour, often perceived as a challenge, is in truth a rare opportunity to assert dominion over one's internal landscape and sculpt a more disciplined, intentional existence. It is an empowering realization, the power to transform these moments of early wakefulness into catalysts for personal evolution resides entirely within. This realization shifts the paradigm from one of passive endurance to one of active, conscious engagement. It is a call to rise, not just from sleep, but to a higher echelon of self-awareness and control. Embrace this invitation with purposeful intent, recognizing that each pre-dawn moment offers a unique chance to forge resilience, clarity, and unwavering purpose. It is a testament to the profound capacity within each individual to convert perceived obstacles into stepping stones on the path to genuine self-mastery. To consolidate this transformative framework, recall the 3 quintessential practices to embrace when awakened between 3 and 5. Firstly, the stillness breath, a deliberate engagement with controlled respiration to calm the nervous system and clear the cognitive field. Secondly, the insight journal, an analog sanctuary for unfiltered reflection, capturing nascent thoughts and profound self-discovery. Finally, the practice of intentional movement, comprising gentle qigong or stretching, is designed to subtly awaken the body's latent energy and foster a harmonious connection between the physical and mental domain. These 3 disciplines, when integrated, form a powerful triumvirate for inner cultivation and readiness. These precepts are elegantly simple in their execution, yet profoundly potent in their cumulative impact. Their consistent application during these quiet hours serves as a foundational investment in one's holistic well-being, imbuing the entirety of the day with heightened clarity, composure, and purposeful energy. The true measure of an individual's fortitude is not found in the absence of challenge, but in the unwavering resolve to transmute adversity into opportunity. Every moment, particularly those untouched by the common clamor, presents a crucible for profound self-discovery and the forging of an unshakable inner core. Cultivate a life not merely defined by external accomplishment, but by the relentless pursuit of internal congruence. The deepest peace is discovered not in external quietude alone, but in the deliberate cessation of inner turmoil. Such a state is the product of disciplined action, sustained intention, and an unyielding commitment to the path of self-awareness. Let every sunrise find you not merely awakened, but reborn into a fuller, more intentional expression of your authentic self. The journey of mastery is an endless unfolding, illuminated by the steady flame of conscious presence. May your path be one of profound tranquility and enduring strength. The solitary nature of these pre-dawn hours bestows a profound gift, the opportunity for undisturbed communion with oneself. In a world saturated with constant connection and external demands, true solitude has become a rare commodity. This quiet interlude offers an invaluable respite from social obligations and sensory overload, allowing for an unmediated encounter with one's authentic self, unburdened by external expectation. Within this sacred solitude, the individual is free to explore the landscape of their consciousness, without interruption or judgment. It is a time for unfiltered introspection, for listening to the whispers of intuition, and for confronting unresolved thoughts or emotions that are often suppressed during the more public hours of the day. This unadulterated self-presence is a cornerstone of deep personal growth. Embracing this solitude, not as isolation, but as a deliberate act of self-care and profound recentering, empowers the individual to tap into an inner wellspring of creativity and wisdom. It reinforces the understanding that true strength often emerges from moments of quiet introspection, preparing one to engage with the world from a place of grounded authenticity rather than reactive external pressure. The very act of waking unexpectedly between 3 and 5 in the morning serves as an immediate, albeit jarring, call to present moment awareness. Rather than succumbing to the mind's propensity to drift into worries of the past or anxieties about the future, these practices meticulously anchor one's consciousness in the immediacy of now. Each breath, each deliberate stroke of the pen, each gentle movement becomes an exercise in being fully present. This cultivated awareness transcends mere observation. It is an active engagement with the unfolding reality of the moment, devoid of judgment or resistance. It teaches the invaluable lesson that peace is not found in the manipulation of external circumstances, but in the unwavering acceptance and conscious participation with the here and now. The stillness of the hour amplifies this lesson, making distractions less compelling. By consistently bringing one's attention back to the present, through these simple yet powerful disciplines, the individual gradually develops an enhanced capacity for mindfulness that extends throughout their entire day. This heightened presence fosters greater clarity, reduces reactive patterns, and allows for a more profound appreciation of life's subtle textures, transforming the mundane into the meaningful. These silent early hours are the fertile ground upon which the seeds of daily intention can be most powerfully sown. Before the conscious mind becomes inundated with the day's tasks and external demands, this is the prime opportunity to consciously articulate and infuse one's deepest aspirations into the fabric of the nascent. It is an act of deliberate creation, setting the energetic trajectory for all subsequent endeavors. By consciously defining one's intention, whether it be for clarity, compassion, resilience, or focus, one imbues the day with a profound sense of purpose that transcends mere routine. This act of premeditation
transforms actions from reactive responses into deliberate expressions of one's core values. It aligns one's internal landscape with external actions, fostering a powerful sense of coherence. This cultivation of intentionality in the quiet of dawn is a profound act of leadership over one's own life. It ensures that the day unfolds not by default but by design. By consistently planting these seeds of purpose, the individual cultivates a life rich in meaning, where every action becomes a conscious step on the path toward their highest aspiration.